Go this way.
Okay, I am now deciding whether I should take you down towards Leicester Square, which is that way, or just head towards Chinatown, straight down here. Let's just stick to the original, which is down here. Okay, so down here, well, you've got the Hippodrome Casino. Here's Leicester Square Station, Leicester Square Underground Station. Come out of the station on exit 2, just walk a few seconds and you'll come to Chinatown. Alright, here we are, Chinatown. Little Newport Street. And you can see lots of lanterns about. That's because it was the Mid-Autumn Festival last week. It was a Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival last week, so they got all these lanterns out to celebrate. And you find that the lantern will be out during the Chinese festivals like Mid-Autumn Festival, Chinese New Year. Because the two are, well, a few months apart. A lot of the time you find that they put the lanterns up and they can't be bothered to take them down again. They just leave it there until Chinese New Year. That's why it's still here. Very colourful. Yeah, let me do a quick circular walk around Chinatown to show you London's Chinatown, which is apparently the biggest Chinatown in Europe. Lyle Street. Here is some information about Chinatown according to Wikipedia. Chinatown is an ethnic enclave in the city of Westminster, London, bordering Soho to its north and west, Theatreland to the south and east. The enclave currently occupies the area in and around Jura Street. It contains a number of Chinese restaurants, bakeries, supermarkets, souvenir shops, and other Chinese-run businesses. The first Chinatown was located in Limehouse in the East End. At the start of the 20th century, the Chinese population of London was concentrated in that area, setting up businesses which catered to the Chinese sailors who frequented in Docklands. The area was known through exaggerated reports and tales of slum housing and the then legal opium dens, rather than the Chinese restaurants and supermarkets of the current Chinatown. However, much of the area was damaged by aerial bombing during the Blitz in the Second World War, although a number of elderly Chinese still choose to live in this area. After the Second World War, however, the growing popularity of Chinese cuisine and an influx of immigrants from Hong Kong led to an increasing number of Chinese restaurants being opened elsewhere. The present Chinatown, which is off Shaftesbury Avenue, did not start to be established until the 1970s. Previously, it was a regular Soho area, run down with Jura Street, the main thoroughfare. It was dominated by the post office facing Macclesfield Street, and other major establishments were the Tailor and Cutter House at 4344, now a Chinese supermarket and restaurant. Probably the first Chinese restaurants opened in Lyle Street, parallel to Jura Street, and more opened gradually. One of the first restaurants was Kowloon Restaurant. The Tailor and Cutter did not close down until around 1974. The area now has more than 80 restaurants. In 2005, the property developer Roseville proposed a plan to redevelop the eastern part of Chinatown. The plan was opposed by many of the existing retailers in Chinatown, as they believed that the redevelopment would drive out the traditional Chinese retail stores from the area and change the ethnic characteristic of Chinatown. On 25th July 2016, a new Chinatown gate on Water Street was opened by Prince Andrew, the Duke of York. It was made by Chinese artisans and assembled in London. The gate is in the style of the Qing dynasty. There was a Chinese-style pavilion at Newport Place from the 1980s, which was a popular meeting point, but it was demolished in 2016 after more than 30 years, despite protests. The development authorities had plans to renovate and enlarge the square. The construction of a new pavilion at a different location was announced. One more thing that wasn't mentioned in that Chinatown readout earlier, and that is the whole area has been pedestrianised. Previously, I think maybe up to about 10 years ago, it was drive-through traffic. Cars and everything was allowed to drive through. So it's always really crowded. Lots of cars, lots of lorries delivering food and veggie and grocery and all that kind of thing. The roads were really narrow. So a lot of the time, you basically have to fight your way through with the traffic. And it's just chock-a-block. But nowadays, as you can see, the whole place is all pedestrianised. Very easy to walk through, no problem, don't have to fight and look out for the traffic anymore. That is a great improvement.
We'll meet Ralph saying pretty nice football doing.
Oh wow. And here is another Chinese gate. This one is slightly different. See, it got their Happy Mid-Autumn Festival. Gerald's Corner.
We was able to buy their mooncakes.
And you know these tables and chairs for sitting outside all over the place here. This only started after the pandemic. Before that, there was no sitting outside. You have to sit inside. But now, they have put the tables and chairs out here so you can actually sit outside on the street here. Luckily, there's no cars, so it's okay. You don't have to worry about cars come crashing around. Now these are delicious, I'm telling you. The roast pork, gosh, the roast pork, they are the best.
共产党以恨立国，以恶治国，其大力宣扬的爱国主义其实是恨的主义。党的词典中，爱国意味着恨美国、恨西方、恨日本、恨台湾、恨西藏、恨自由社会、恨普世价值、恨修炼政治。
You know when you're at the gym, I don't like the confetti.
Very crowded. There's always a lot of people in Chinatown. just done my grocery shopping at this shop behind me there. Originally, I did plan to go walk down to Tottenham Court Road to Primark. There's a Primark at the Tottenham Court Road end of Oxford Street. But I am now loaded with shopping. It's so heavy, I can't be bothered to walk anymore. I am just heading straight out to Leicester Square tube station and get the train home now. So we are just going to walk through Chinatown, get to Leicester Square tube station and make our way home from there. There's another Chinese gate, see behind me there? So I think that's the third Chinese gate. There are 3 Chinese gates altogether. This one and the one at the opposite end are fairly new-ish gate that's been erected. The one that near the Piccadilly end of Chinatown, I think that was the original gate. And nowadays, after the pandemic, the lockdown, they allow the restaurant to put chairs outside so people can actually sit outside for their food. And originally there's a Chinese pagoda right in the center here as well. And then for some reason, a few years ago, again during the pandemic, the lockdown or whatever, they had a refurbishment, so they basically got rid of the pagoda and opened up this square. So I don't know why, because the pagoda is really nice. It's really nice tiny little pagoda in the middle. It looks very Chinese-y. I guess it's you open up the space without the pagoda, but lose that Chinese cultural feel to it. I prefer it with a pagoda there, because before, every time I need to meet someone in Chinatown, we always say meet at the pagoda, where the pagoda is, and everyone knows where it is. Now they got rid of the pagoda, you don't know where to meet. It's like, oh, have to find a new place to meet up with people. Oh yeah, and all along down this little lane here is full of bubble tea shops. Bubble tea has become a really big thing now. Everyone come here to get their bubble tea. And lots of these knick-knack kind of shops, which is really interesting. Let me take a photo of this. Very cute hanging. There's a lantern. There's a lantern here.
I want to see it yourself.
Chinese,
No, Ben South.
Chinese style blouse and suits.
Look at
We're not going to get any more cards today. Let's have a look at the fans, actually.
So yes, have I told you this new looking cafeteria shop here? It used to be a Chinese bakery, and they sell Chinese buns really cheap, like £1 for a big giant bun that will fill you up the whole day. You don't get anything for £1 anymore. £10 is now the kind of going rate now. Everything is cost. It feels like 10 times more. But previously, yes, when I was a student and cheap, no money, still no money, but that's where I usually go to get my £1 char siu bun. Stuff my face out. Anyway, we're now back at Leicester Square. I am going to call it a day. Going home because my shopping is really heavy.
When either me and you. Are you coming on the 5?
My arm is about to fall off, I think, so yes, I need to get down the tube and go home now. That's it, we're coming to the end. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, okay? Thank you for watching, see you next time, bye.
Still works out.